will be getting underway again shortly with the women's 100 fly. For our athletes on the pool deck and getting ready for their races, folks, see you in the stands. Who's ready for day 4 prelims? Oh, come on, folks, you can do better than that. Let's raise your voices and make some noise. It's time for day 4. Women's multi-class 100 fly, heat 1. Heading down to our 50-meter turn, leading time is Oakville Aquatic, Jamie Cosgriff, the standing national record holder in the women's one fly for the S10 sport class. Record stands a 106.75 set in Toronto in 2024 Olympic and Paralympic trials. Time is a 106.75. Cosgriff off the wall with a 31.82, followed second fastest by Aletha Smythe for Orangeville Otters in 5.
Dans le couloir 4, on retrouve Katie Cosgriff de Oakville, la détentrice du record canadien pour la classification S10, le temps de 1:06.75.
Slightly shy of records at 1:07.96. Jamie Cosgriff is the fastest time in the pool for the single heats of the women's multi-class one fly. 1:11.43 for Aletha Smythe of Orangeville Otters in 5. The second fastest time in the pool, and over to lane 6 and Emma Van Dyck for Brock Niagara. 976, the overall top performance in the pool, ranked by para points. We'll have an official scored summary by points on the board in just a moment for the women's event. 976 followed an 865 performance by Smythe, our official top 5, leading pre-scratch in the finals. Moving on to now, event 314, the multi-class men's 100 fly, heat 1 of 2. We're going to ask our athletes in heat fly to stand down. We will be re-swimming heat 1 after heat 2. Once again, for our athletes behind the blocks, we would like to ask our athletes to stand down. We will be re-swimming heat 1 of the men's 100 fly after our swim of heat 2, which will be coming up next. Once again, this next race behind the blocks is heat 2 of the men's 100 fly.
Notre prochaine série sera la série 2 du 100 papillons. Nous allons renager la série 1 à la conclusion de la deuxième série.
We're going to allow our athletes in heat 1 a few moments to rest and reset. We're going to go again on with the events into heat 2 of the men's multi-class 100 fly. Heat 2. Fastest time-based seed in the men's 100 fly is Red Deer Catalina Swim Club in lane 4, Nicholas Bennett. 58.93 is the seed time for Bennett. Is the standing Canadian national record holder for the S14 sport classification at 57.94. And we also have the standing S8 Canadian record holder, that is Reed. 3-4, leading time at the 50-meter wall is Bennett at a 27.46, followed by Fernando Liu at a 28.38. Nicholas Bennett up in front into the final 5 meters will be the fastest time at a 58.0161. 101.15 for Alexander Elliott, second fastest time in the pool.
« 58-61 pour Nicolas Bennett qui passe sous la barre 2 minutes, améliore son temps d'inscription.
Our results shown on the board now, ranked by points. 925 followed 890. Nicholas Bennett and Alexander Elliott for our top 2 performances in Heat 2 thus far in the events. We are going back to behind the blocks now for the men's 100 fly re-swim of Heat number 1. Top time-based seed in Heat 1 of the men's 100 fly. Club S14 classified. George Kierstead, 106.93. Swimming in lane number 5. For McMurray Mant is Hunter Hellberg in the S12 sport classification. Seeded time is a 108.71. The S12 national record is a 105.55 that has been held since 1990s at July 17th in Assen, Netherlands by Lee Grennan. Fastest time in the pool for Heat 1 is a 108.95, 686 point performance for George Kierstead, followed second with a 7:17, 1:11.00 for Hunter Hellberg. This leaves Nicholas Bennett for Red Deer Catalina Swim Club with the top time-based performance. Our summary briefly there for Heat 1, now ranked overall with Heat 2, 9:25 and 8:90 for Alexander Elliott and Nicholas Bennett, second and first, respectively, in the event pre-scratch. Event 19 coming up next, the women's 200-meter butterfly, Heat 1 of 6. Fastest time at the halfway mark. Lane 5 is Macy Muscard for Nepean Canada Barracudas, turns 1:04.43, followed lane 4, Catherine O'Kenton for Etobicoke.
Le meilleur temps d'inscription dans cette première série du 200 papillons, Catherine Workington de Etobicoke, 2:21.45. C'est Maisie Muscard, cependant, de Nepean, couloir 5, est en avance après le premier 100 mètres. 2 secondes devant Workington avec un temps de passage d'une 4:43.
Some back and forth trading between the 50, 100, and 150 meter turn. Leading dominant throughout, though, is Muscard in lane 5 into the 150 meter wall, 1:42.60. Muscard's seed times is 2:21.82. Second off the 150 and up into the top 3, Greater Ottawa Kingfish Swim Club, Isla Hardy. However, fastest time in the pool is a great final 50 for Emily DeChazal representing McGill at 2:21.01, the benchmark for the women's 2 fly.
2:21.01 pour Emily DeChazal de McGill qui remporte la première série.
Annabelle Coleman second for flatland swimming in 7, Heat 2 coming up next. Top seed in Heat 2, Megan Donnelly for Oakville Aquatic. It is, however, second fastest seed in the event, a 2:20.39 seed time. Kelowna Aquajet's Emily Golonowski leading at the halfway turn, 1:06.19. Followed second by Caitlin Stanoilovich of Point Claire. Stanoilovich turns at 1:06.67, then followed third Caitlin Liu for Etobicoke, down to third from first, the 50 prior.
Dans cette deuxième série, c'est Emily Golonowski qui mène après le premier 150 mètres maintenant dans le couloir 5, Kelowna Aquajets. Un temps de passage d'une 42,58, une seconde devant Caitlin Stanoilovich de Pointe-Claire.
.36.39 on the outbound 50 for Golonowski. 4/10 faster than Stanoilovich on the same leg of the race. 1:42.58 for Golonowski off the 150. Great finish though for Stanoilovich into a finishing time of 2:20.34, just superseding Golonowski at the finish by a tenth and a half.
Belle fin de course pour Caitlin Stanoilovich de Pointe-Claire qui remporte la deuxième série avec un temps de 2:20.34.
Heat 3 up next. At the end of Heat 2, Stanoilovich with the now high points win so far for the women's 200 fly at 2:20.34. Top seed Heat 3 is Marationi Karagianis, Natation Samak, Couloir 4. Karagianis seeded in at a 2:19.26, 2:19.31 is second fastest in the heat, which is Hayak Swim Club's Shima Taghavi in 5. Halfway turn coming up. Advantage for first and second, Karagianis and Alona Phillips. Keano in lane 1, leading times of 1:05.16 for Karagianis. Phillips follows 1:05.62.
Le meilleur temps d'inscription appartient à Maria Théonie Karagianis, le club de natation Samac. C'était dans le couloir 4 qui mène après le premier 100 mètres, 1:05.16. Une demi-seconde devant Lana Phillips qui est dans le couloir 1. Théonie Karagianis qui mène toujours après le premier 150 maintenant. Meilleur temps jusqu'à présent, 2:20.34. Caitlin Stanoilovich de Pointe-Claire dans la série précédente.
For Vancouver Pacific, rockets up into our top 3 as of the 150, second at 1:41.74. However, it will be Karagianis dominating with a 2:17.62 for first.
Belle performance ici ce matin pour Maria Théonie Karagianis de Samac qui baisse son temps d'une seconde et demie avec un temps final de 2:17.62 pour remporter la troisième série.
Taghavi for Hayak at 2:18.97, second and 5. Heat 4 coming up next. Heat 4 off the 50, leading time for our top seed. Third fastest in the women's 2 fly is Markham Aquatic Club's Mabel Zavaros, seated at 2:11.57. Time 1 second over the secondary standard qualification for Singapore. 102.39 for Zavaros leads us off the 100s. Zavaros was a fourth place finish. Fourth fastest time rather in Canadian history in the 200 fly. It was a second place finish. Silver medalist at Trials 2024. Second fastest in the heat is Victoria Raymond representing Etobicoke Swim Club at 2:13.68. 150 now for Zavaros at 1:37.20. Second is Zavaros. Raymond 2 seconds back at 1:39.21. Third in the heat, about half point length behind Raymond into the flags is Angela Wong for Markham Aquatic. Fastest time, 2:12.14 for Zavaros. New high points for the event by 5 seconds and a half.
2:12.14 pour Mabel Zavaros de Markham qui remporte la 4e série du 200 papillons.
Heat 5, penultimate swim. Heat 5 now. Ella Jansen representing Etobicoke Swimming, the top seed in Heat 5. Second fastest in the event at 2:10.85. 3.5 tenths removed from the secondary standard for Singapore. Was the ninth fastest time in Canadian history. Paired up against 2:12.38 entry from Markham Aquatic Club's Katie Forster in lane 5. Was fourth at trials last year. Jansen and Forrester turned respectively a 1:02.09, 1:03.18, just over a second between our leading two at the half. Weatherhead representing Kisu Swim Club, that is Taryn Weatherhead in 3 at 1:05.26.
Dans cette 5e série, le deuxième en classement pyramidal, dans le couloir 4, on retrouve Ella Jansen de Tobico, un temps de 2:10.85. C'est elle qui mène à peu près le premier 150 mètres devant Katie Forster, qui représente le club de Markham.
.25 meters to go for Jansen off the 150 at 1:36.08. Over a body length on Forrester into the final 5 and into the wall. Fastest time in the heat at 2:11.05.
2:11.05 pour Ella Jansen qui remporte la 5e série.
Fastest time in the event by a second, 0.1. Forrester second, 2:12.66, and we move next into our 6th and final swim in the women's 2 fly. McIntosh, a 4-time Olympic medalist, 16-time world championship medalist. 2:04.00 is her fastest time this season, a time set at the Tier Pro Series in Westmont, USA. Olympic champion at the Paris Games with the 2:03.03 Canadian record. As well, in the last 3 World Championship cycles has been a gold in all 3. McIntosh turns at the 100 up front at 1:87.
Le meilleur temps d'inscription dans cette 6e et dernière série appartient à la détentrice du record canadien, Summer McIntosh. Un temps de 2:03.03. Tel qui mène après le premier 100 mètres. 2 secondes devant Claire Watson. McIntosh qui a déjà 2 records du monde et un record du monde junior cette semaine. Maintenant sa 4e épreuve en 4 jours.
2:03.03 is the second fastest time in the world ever. The world record for this event is a Chinese time belonging to Zhizhe Liu at 2:01.81, a second 0.2 faster than McIntosh at 2:03.03. This was set October 2009 at the Chinese Championships in Jinan. 1:34.19 off of the wall, 4 seconds above world record pace into the final 50 of the race. However, McIntosh leads by 5 meters over Claire Watson, 5th place last year at trials, and into the wall with the fastest time in the event this morning at 2:08.80.
2:08.80 pour Summer McIntosh qui remporte la 6e série et se qualifie pour la première position au final A de ce soir.
In addition to our high points for the event this morning, 2:08.980 stands as the 9th fastest time in the world this season. Coming up on the board, we'll have our first round of summaries for our Olympic program events. A finalists, pre-scratch shown on the board, 2:08.80, 2:11.05 for McIntosh and Jansen topping the board. Our B and junior finalists to follow, shown by a B and a J on the far right of the board.
Nous affichons les résultats sur le tableau indicateur avec les finales A, B et junior pour la session finale de ce soir.
We'll next be moving into event 20, the men's 200-meter butterfly, heat 1 of 7. .100 meters turn and a lead on the outside in 1. 59.94 lone time under the minute mark at the half in heat 1. That is Kevin Marr for Etobicoke. Second on the opposite side of the pool is Yair Semenyak representing Natashon Gatineau at the minute .92.
Après 100 mètres, c'est dans le couloir 1 d'Etobicoke, Kevin Marr qui mène. Temps de passage sous 1 minute, soit 59.94. Une seconde devant Yair Semenyak de Gatineau, qui nage dans le couloir 7.
Final 5 meters will be Mar for first at a 2:07.65, followed up to 8:44 for Semenyak in 7.
2:07.65 pour Kevin Maher de Etobicoke qui remporte la première série.
Heat 2 coming up next in the men's 200 fly. Halfway turn in Heat 2, leading time for European Canada Barracudas, Alexander Billea. That's a 1:53. 7/10 behind that, a 1:01.23 for Aiden Israelov, representing Neptune in 4. Current third, Dominic Huichian, representing Grand Prairie in 2. As of the 150, Idan Israelov for Neptune Natation up to first place and finishes for first in the heats at 2:08.09 in lane 4.
2:08.09 pour Idan Israelov de Neptune qui remporte la deuxième série.
Moving on now to Heat 3 of 7 for the men's 200 fly. Heat 3 up next. Top seed in Heat 3, swims lane 4, Oshawa Aquatic Club, Camden Reeds. Reed's seed times at 2:08.45, 2/10 faster than second fastest entry in the heat. Kieran Dick for Neptune, that's between Goldfinns in lane 5. Lower lane contingent leads first through fourth at the halfway turn. Leading time is Benjamin Miller. Now Barry Trojan Swim Club in lane 1 at a 1:84. Second, Reed in 4. Only 5 100ths behind Miller's turn at the half. And for third, Pacific Coast Swimming, Josh Liu. 101.07. From third to first through our third length of the race. 1:33.39 now. Pacific Coast Swimming's Joshua Liu in lane 3. Down to the finish though, it is a first place finish for Liu by 1/10 over third at 2:07.48 in lane 3.
Joshua Liu de Pacific Coast Swimming qui remporte la troisième série avec un temps de 2:07.48, seulement 1/10.
Maddox Oliver for second and 7/200 behind for first. Heat 4 up next. Halfway turn in Heat 4 now. 59.06 leading time in 6 for Elijah Daly of Club Aquatique de Montreal. Second to Daly is Simon McClure in 7 representing Etobicoke. Top seed for the Heat is Patrick Groders for Giants Aquatics Aruba at a 59.66 the halfway turn. Top seed time in the Heat at 2:06.05, 2/10 faster than second entry in this swim. Fastest time, Heat 4 at 2:04.32. New high points for the men's 200 fly. Adrian Chung for Pointe-Claire.
2:4.32 pour Adrian Chung de Pointe-Claire qui remporte la 4e série.
Heat 5 to 7 coming up next. Men's 2 fly, Heat 5. third fastest overall seed for the men's 200 fly was a 6th place finish in the A final at Olympic trials last year. 6th place was a 1:57.24, the entry time for Crest Swimming's Benjamin Lowen. This is the 5th fastest time ever in Canada. Counterpart in this race is lane 5, Ramac Aquatic Club, Michael Andrew Savard at a 1:59.76 entry. This was the 5th fastest time from trials last year. Leader at the 100 is Jake Mason in lane 3. Turns at 56.46. Seconds to Lowen in lane 4. Current third is lane 2, Tristan Labarre, CNQ.
Cette 5e série, la première de 3 en classement pyramidal. Le meilleur temps d'instruction, Benjamin Lowen de Crest Swimming. Cependant, c'est Jake Mason qui mène dans le couloir 3. Temps de passage 1:26.91 après le premier 150 mètres.
Positions unchanged as the 150 turn. Secondary standard for qualification considerations to the Singapore World Championships coming up is a 1:57.68. Fastest time is going to be lane 3 for Mason at a 1:59.96, the fastest time so far this morning.
Juste au-dessus de la barre de 2 minutes, 1:59.96 pour Jake Mason qui remporte la 5e série.
Lowen second at 2:51. Heat 6 up next. Top seed Heat 6, second in the event, representing Austria, Martin Espernberger, a bronze medalist at the World Championships 2024 in Doha, was a 6th place finish in the Paris Olympic final. 1:54.17 his seed time would rank 4th fastest in the world so far this season. Our second fastest seed in Heat 6 is a 4th place finish in the senior final at 2024 trials with a 1:59.42 last year. That is Barrie Trojan Swim Club, Ohio State, Jordy Vilches. Leading time is Espernberger at 54.53 per second. Anton Semenyuk representing Natation Gatineau in lane 2, and for third, Vilches in 5.
Meilleur temps d'inscription dans cette 6e série, Martin Espernberger de l'Autriche. Dans l'inscription de 54-17, une avance considérable après le premier 150 pour Espernberger, 1:24.33. Et Anton Semenyuk de Gatineau se retrouve en deuxième, près de 4 secondes derrière Espernberger.
Espernberger off the 150, 1:24.33. Second, Semenyuk up a position. And second remains at third, Jordy Vilches in 5, a 1:30.29 at 21 turn at the three-quarter mark. 1:55.44 is the fastest time so far in the event for Espernberger in 4.
Une 55-44 pour Martin Espernberger qui remporte la 6e série.
Coming up next, our final swim for the men's 200-meter butterfly. This is Heat 7.
Who that flying in the air? Who? That ain't no flying soft, sir. I'm shooting webs like worldwide. Manhattan all the way to Yonkers. When they say Brooklyn stands up, you better just fix your posture. And every hero needs his theme song. So here, try to start a fight.
Overall, the fastest seat time in the men's 200-meter butterfly, a 1:52.80. Lane 4, Ilya Haroun. This is the fastest time in country ever. 52.80 is the time swum by Ilya Haroun for his performance at the Paris Olympic final. This is a bronze medal performance. 8th fastest time in the world ever. Haroun turns here at a 55.00, followed 56.41 by Bill Dongfeng in lane 5. Our second fastest seed in the heat has the 10th fastest time in Canada.
Dans cette 7e et dernière série, le meilleur temps dans cette épreuve appartient à Ilya Haroun, temps de 1:52.80, ce qui est le détenteur du record canadien, tant qu'il a établi lorsqu'il avait remporté la médaille de bronze aux Jeux olympiques à Paris l'été dernier. 1:25.73 pour Haroun qui mène après 150 2 secondes devant Bill Dunfang de Island Swimming.
Your top seed, Haroun, Canadian record holder in the men's 200 fly, turns at the 150 at 125.73, a two-time Olympic finalist, medaled in both of those finals, as well as a 7-time World Aquatic Championship medalist, finishing here in lane 4, 156.00.
1:56.0 pour Ilya Haroun qui remporte la 7e et dernière série.
Fastest time so far of the morning stands for Esperenberger at a 1:55.44. Second fastest in the heat for Heat 7 is a 2:41 finish for Harrison Smith in 3. We'll have our summary up on the board for the men's 200 fly.
Nous allons afficher les résultats sur le tableau indicateur pour les finalistes A, B et junior de la session de ce soir.
Our top 8 for the men's 200 fly, Esperenberger, Haroun, 1:55.44, 56.00. Esperenberger as a foreign national ineligible to proceed to the senior A final, places top of the board for the B final, pre-scratch. Moving now into our B and junior finalists, denoted by the B and J on the far side of the board. Coming up next, we'll be moving into event 21, the women's 100-meter freestyle. 7 prelim swims in this event. With Esperenberger unable to proceed to the A final, our second fastest pre-scratch hoop making into the men's senior final is Jake Mason. Once again, now behind the blocks at the start end of the pool, the women's 100 free, heat 1. Closing to the wall for our first heat of the women's 100 freestyle. Top time is a 57.99 in lane 6. Jordan Richardson representing Ottawa Olympians.
57.99 pour Jordan Richardson qui remporte la première série.
800s behind, Canadian Dolphins, Lauren Day, lane 3, heat 2, up next. Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification event 20, heat 6, lane 1. That is again a disqualification event 20, heat 6, lane 1.
Nous avons un avis de disqualification pour l'épreuve 20, série 6, couloir 1. L'épreuve 20, série 6, couloir 1 a été disqualifiée.
Fastest time off the 50 in Heat 2, a 27.88 turn for Riley Miller in 5. Represents Kelowna Aquajets in Heat 2. Fastest time though is going to be lane 3, 57.97 for Julia Norman, representing Calgary Swimming in 3.
57-97 pour Julia Norman et Calgary remporte la deuxième série.
High point by these 200s, Heat 3 up next.
Back in the road, people know, people come and go with boys. Same thing.
Our top seed in Heat 3, lane 4, Ella Cosgrove. Seed time is a 57.22. Leading time of the 50 is lane 2, Fredericton Aquanaut Swim Team, Sarah McNabb, 27.68. Looking pretty good for McNabb into the finish, a half point length ahead of the field, 57.82 for first.
55-82 pour Sarah McNabb de Fredericton qui remporte la troisième série.
New high point by 10th and a half, Heat 4 up next. .50-meter leading time is our top seed in Heat 4, Cascade Swim Club, High Performance Center of Vancouver, Ingrid Wilm, a Paris team member for Canada. 27.03 for Wilm in 4. Top time is a 56.71. Under that at 55.67 by 1 second.
55-67 pour Ingrid Wilm de Cascade Swim Club qui remporte la quatrième série.
Moving on now to Heat 5 of 7, our final 3 for the women's 100 free. Top seed in Heat 5, third fastest in the event, Natation Bleuet of Brooklyn Duthrice. third place bronze medalist at the 2024 Olympic Trials with a 54:33, her seed time this morning. Turns first at the 58, 26.70, followed second, lane 3, Etobicoke Swim Club, Sylvia Statkovicius. Second fastest seed in this heat is lane 5, Sienna Ango, was 6th in the 2024 Women's 100 Free at Canadian Trials. Fastest time in heat 6-5 is a 55.11 new high point over Wilms time by a half second for Doothright in 4.
55-11 pour Brooklyn Doothright du club natation bleu et or remporte la 5e série.
Ango second at 55.33, 2/10 behind Doothright. Heat 6, penultimate swim up next. Top seed heat 6, Club Aquatique de Montreal, a 9-time world's medalist, 4-time Olympic finalist. Her personal best is the 5th fastest time in Canadian history, Club Aquatique de Montreal, Mary-Sophie Harvey. Fastest surf, 5th fastest time in Canada, 53.71, was second at the 2024 trials with this time. Taylor Ruck in lane 5. Is our fastest time in the pool, 54.80. Fastest time of the morning by 3/10.
54-80 pour Taylor Ruck, Kelowna Aqua-Jets qui remporte la 6e série.
And on to now our final swim for the women's 100 free heat 7. Overall, the fastest seed in the women's 100 freestyle is Toronto Swim Club's Penny Oleksiak. 11-time Olympic finalist, 7-time Olympic medalist, 16 world medals to her name, 53.66 from the 2024 Olympic trials. Personal best, though, 52.59, the 4th fastest at the Tokyo Olympic Games. 54.25 for Oleksiak, the overall high point swim for the women's 100 free in this morning's prelims.
54-25 pour Penny Oleksiak qui remporte la dernière série, le temps le plus rapide de ce matin.
Oleksiak's time ties the Aqua A standard for qualification to the Singapore Games, setting her up very well for tonight's final. 54.25 the standard. And on the board now, our top 8 from the prelims. Oleksiak and Ruck top the board, 54.25, 54.80 respectively. Our top 8 heading into the senior final tonight, pre-scratch. Our B and junior finalists now on the board, starting with the B's and J's, denoting our B's and junior finalists. Coming up next will be event 22, the men's 100-meter freestyles will be heat 1 of 8. Fastest time in Heat 1, Lane 7. Calgary swimming, Gibson Black at a 50.40. Second place, Albert Cooley Crest swimming in 2:51.90. Heat 2. Fastest time at the 50-meter wall. Tommy Lafrenière, de natation nation de Québec, at a 24.77, followed 25.31, Aiton Isikoff. Équipe de natation Saint-Lambert. 6/100ths ahead of Pashukov in lane 5. Fastest time of the pool, 52.30 for Isikoff.
52-30 pour Aiton Isakov, l'équipe de natation Saint-Lambert qui remporte la deuxième série.
Heat 3 coming up next for the men's 100 free. Heat 3. Top seed in Heat 3, Campbell River Killer Whales. Zach Mills, 52.42, entry in 4. Leading time, lane 8 though, is Club Aquatique de Montréal, Maxime Armenko out. Turns first to the 50, 24.31. Yarmenko up front here, having a great race, seated in 52.69, going to be finishing at a 51.81 under C's by nearly a second.
51-81 pour Maxime Yarmenko de Camo qui remporte la troisième série.
Heat 4. Top seed in Heat 4, Pacifico swimming Kier Ogilvie. Ogilvie is seated at 51.56, 51.59 is Fangbo Liu for Calgary swimming in 5. Leading time is Ogilvie at 24.39, followed Owen Eck in lane 3. Holding strong in 4, Ogilvie. Nope, it is Eck at 51.39. 1/10 ahead of Ogilvie in lane 3 for first.
51-39 pour Owen Eck qui remporte la quatrième série.
Tied for second, Ogilvie and Fangbo Liu, 51.49. Heat 5 up next. Top seed Heat 5 is Cascade Swim Club Liam Weaver in lane 4. Second fastest seed leads at the 50. Luke Stewart Binder for Olympian Swimming at 24.04. Binder seated 1/100th behind Weaver at a 50.90. Into the final 5, still looking good for Stewart Binder into the wall. Fastest time at 50.50. 1/10 shy of our standing high point from Gibson Black back in Heat 1.
50-50 pour Luke Stewart Binder de l'Olympian Swimming qui remporte la 5e série.
Heat 6 coming up next for the men's 100 free. Heat 6. Fifth fastest time in Canada. Oak to Oak Maverick Swimming, High Performance Center of Vancouver, Finley Knox in lane 4, seated at 50.48.29. Knox second off the wall behind Calgary Swimming's Lon Kim at 23.72. Knox at 23.89. 48.29 for Knox was from the Olympic trials last year. 49.64 new high point for Knox to finish off in Heat 6, first in the pool.
49-64 pour Finley Knox qui remporte la 6e série.
Second in lane 5, Patrick Hussey. And moving on now to Heat 7. Heat 7, fastest seed in the pool. Second fastest seed in the events is a 48.19. This is the second fastest time in Canadian history for Cascade Swim Clubs. Coming into the wall for a first place finish is lane 6 though. Club Économique Manuel Antoine Sauvé.
49.09 pour Antoine Sauvé qui remporte la 7e série.
5.5 seconds, 5.5 tenths faster than Knox and Simon. Heat 6, Heat 7, Heat done and dusted, Heat 8. Final swim.
But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out. Time's up. Over. Loud. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke.
Overall, the fastest seed for the men's 100 freestyle, representing North York Aquatic Club in lane 4, it's Joshua Liendo. Seed time is a 47.55. The second fastest Canadian in history behind Brent Hayden at a 47.27 set July 2009. 47.55 for Liendo would be 8th fastest in the world this season. Aqua A standard for the Singapore World Championships is a 48.34. Out in front into the final 5, it is not Liendo, but lane 6, Ruslan Gatsiev at a 48.79.
48-79 pour Ruslan Gaziev qui remporte la 8e et dernière série.
Second place finish, Liendo at 49.70. Third place in the heat is Nicole Blackman, Tennessee Aquatics. Our top eights on the board now, 48.79, 49.09, Gatsiev and Sauvé, top two heading into the senior men's final. Now moving into our B finalists, a possible swim off at 49.90 for 10th. Coming up next will be event 23, the women's 50-meter breaststroke, heat 1 of 10. And again on the board, our top 8 pre-scratch for the men's senior A and B finals. Heat 1. 25 meters through heat 1, leading time looks like it will be in lane 3 for Isabella Duncan, Calgary Swimming. Tops out at 32.99.
32,99 pour Isabella Duncan de Calgary qui remporte la première série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 2 of 10 coming up next, women's 50 breast. Stop time, lane 2, Yanni Wong for Markham. Lane 3, Yanni Wong for Markham Aquatic, 34.35.
Yanni Wong remporte la deuxième série, un temps de 34-35.
Swimmers, clear the pool, please. Heat 3. Fastest time, heat 3 is a 34.74, lane 6, Ashley Wilkie.
Ashley Wilkie qui remporte la troisième série, 34-74. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 4. Top seed Heat 4, Mofan Jean, Pacific Seawolves at 33.96. Top time in the pool though, lane 6, Rachel Steinberg for Brantford Aquatic, 33.58.
33,58 pour Rachel Steinberg de Brantford qui remporte la 4e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 5. Top seed in Heat 5, Markham Aquatic Club, Casa Taiva Salo at 33.78 to 33.81. And I'm Reptiles Danielle Barbary in lane 5. Pretty good in lane 6 for Ziyu Zhou of Canadian Dolphins. Top time going to be a 33.82 and 6.
Ziyu Zhou from Canadian Dolphins qui remporte la 5e série avec un temps de 33,82. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 6. Top seed Heat 6, Maxime Bélanger, les Dauphins de Rimouski, 33.60, shared with Cascade Swim Club's Madeline Connell in lane 5. Fastest time, 33.32, Nina McEachran for Kisu.
Nina McEachran de Kisu Swim Club qui remporte la 6e série, 33-32. Swimmers, please clear the pool. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Heat 7.
I see you. Yo, this goes out to all you kids that still have their cars at the club valet. And it's
Top seed Heat 7, Ajax Aquatic, Isabel Angeloni, 33.36, 33.39, Halifax Trojans, Julie Nolan McCarthy in 5. Coming into the wall, looking pretty good in lane 4, to finish first, 33.29 indeed, lane 4, Isabel Angeloni for Ajax.
33-29 pour Isabelle Angeloni de Ajax qui remporte la 7e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Summers, please clear the pool.
Heat 8. Top seed Heat 10 is 5th fastest in Canadian history at 30.375. Shona Branson for Western University Swimming. Into the wall, Branton 31.14, new high point for the women's 50 breaststroke.
31-14 pour Shona Branton de Western qui remporte la 8e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 9. top time in our second fastest seed in the event, sixth fastest time in Canada. Calgary swimming Alexandre Lepage, a 30.82 from September 2023 at the Nantai Israel Junior World Championships. Top time is 31.53 for Lepage in lane 4.
31,53 pour Alexandre Lepage de Calgary qui remporte la 9e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 10, final swim. We'd like to please call coaching representatives from Calgary Swimming and Manta Swim Club to please make their way down to meet administration as soon as possible about swim-offs. Once again, coaching representatives, Calgary Swimming, Manta Swim Club to meet administration about swim-offs as soon as possible. Top overall seed for the women's 50 breaststroke swims in lane 4. Anita Bottazzo, Olympic team member for Italy, at 30.39 is her seed time. High Performance Center of Ontario. And Sophie Angus in 5 with the 7th fastest time in Canadian history. Fastest time Bottazzo just ahead of Angus by 4/100ths of a second.
30,95 pour 30,91 pour Anita Bottazzo qui remporte la 10e et dernière série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
30.95 and 7/10ths ahead of behind the Canadian national record for the 50 breaststroke. The time of 30.23 held since July 2009 by Amanda Reason at the Canadian Championship trials in Montreal, Quebec that year. Our scoreboard now has our top 8 on the board. Anita Bottazzo is a foreign national, is ineligible to proceed to the A final. Tops the senior B final. Angus and Branson are the top 2 heading into our senior women's final tonight. We move now through our B and junior final scrolls in the women's 50 breaststroke. We'd like to make a quick call while our awards are scrolling. If you are the owner of a red Hyundai Kona, license plate XK015P, you are illegally parked in a motorcycle parking space and you need to move your car. Coming up next, this will be event 24, the men's 50-meter breaststroke, heat 1 of 13. Heat 1. Fastest time for seat of the men's 50 breaststroke, 29.48, Jet Vergy, Calgary swimming in 3.
29,48 pour Jet Vergy de Calgary qui remporte la première série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 2. Fastest time in lane 4, 30.31, Jordan Jolly Samula, representing the BN Canada Barracudas.
Jordan Jolly Samula, l'Olympienne qui remporte la 2e série avec un 30-31. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 3. Fastest time in Heat 3, 30.09, Matteo Mancini. Mancini pursuing Newmarket Stingrays.
Matteo Mancini de Newmarket qui remporte la troisième série, 30-09. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. The swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 4. In Heat 4, fastest time lane 3, Sam Russell, Owen Sound Aquatics at 30.03.
30-03 pour Sam Russell de Owen Sound qui remporte la quatrième série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 5. Fastest time, Heat 5, going to be lane 2, Mark Mikas, Mississauga Aquatic, 30.04.
Mark Mikas de Mississauga qui remporte la cinquième série avec un temps de 30-04. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 6. Looking good here in lane 4 for Great and Running of Oshawa Aquatics, and 29.83 in lane 4.
29-83 pour Grading Running qui remporte la sixième série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 7 coming up next, men's 50 breast. Fastest into the wall in Heat 7, a third 29.68. Vincent Cote, Rougetto.
Vincent Côté du Rouge et Or Universitaire qui remporte la septième série, 29-68. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 8. Top seed in Heat 8, Olympian swimming Darren C, lane 4, 29.78. Top time to the wall going to be lane 8 though, Cameron Morrissey, Club Warriors, 29.72.
29,72 pour Cameron Morrissey, le Club Warriors, qui remporte la 8e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Summers, please clear the pool.
Heat 9. One to ring.
29-24 pour Noah Tarinko, the Brantford qui remporte la 9e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Summers, please clear the pool.
New high point now for the men's 50 breaststroke over Virgie Syme from back in Heat 1. Heat 10 up next. Top seed Heat 10, Kyle Stuff. Olympian swimming Luke Stewart Binder in lane 5. As well, Adam Yosha for the West Vancouver Otters. Top time though is Jordan Rome in lane 2 for Comox Valley Aquatic Club at 29.31.
Jordan Rom from Comox Valley Aquatic Club qui remporte la 10e série des 9-31. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Summers, please clear the pool.
Heat 11 up next. Third fastest seed time in the men's 50 breaststroke belongs to Grand Prairie Piranha's Oliver Dawson in lane 4, 27.98, just outside of the top 10 ever swum in Canada. 10th is a 27.94 for Caitlin Freund back in August 2017. Dawson 28.21 for the top time in Heat 11.
28-21 pour Oliver Dawson de Grande Prairie qui remporte la 11e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 12. Seated in with the 9th fastest time in Canadian history, UBC Thunderbirds High Performance Center of Vancouver, Justice Mignot, 27.87. Second fastest seed, Island Swimming and Simon Fraser University's Marcus Mack in lane 5. Top time between Mack and Mignot is a 28.74 for Mignot in lane 4.
28-74 pour Justice Mignot qui remporte la 12e série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Summers, please clear the pool.
Heat 13, final swim. Overall, the fastest seat time of the men's 50 breaststrokes, a 27:34. This is for Lithuanian national and Olympic member for Lithuania, Alexis Savikas in lane 4. Lane 5 is 6th fastest time in Canadian history. Belongs to High Performance Center of Ontario. Apollo Hess, 28:23. Top time is Noah Chang, though, at 27:96. Lane 2 for Rocket.
27,96 pour Noah Chang qui remporte la 13e et dernière série avec le temps le plus rapide ce matin. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau. S'il vous plaît, swimmers, please clear the pool. Nous allons afficher les résultats sur le tableau indicateur avec Noah Chang, le temps le plus rapide pour les finales A de ce soir.
On the board now, our top 8 heading into finals tonight in the A and B finals. Savikas as a foreign national ineligible for the A final. Top 2 for the senior men's final, Noah Chang, Oliver Dawson, 27:96 and 28:21 pre-scratch. We next move into event 315, the women's multi-class 50 freestyle, heat 1 of 2. Fastest time-based seed and into the wall for the fastest time of the swim. It's 34:34. Danielle Doris, a 3-time Olympic, Paralympic team member for Canada, was the gold medalist in the cement Olympic trials last year. 34:34. Followed up second place at 41:05 for Miriam Soliman in lane 5, representing Musang Bourcheville at third fastest time, 42:32. Third fastest, Ruby Stevens, S6 classified, Royal City Aquatic in 3. Our summary now on the board for the women's first heat of the 50 freestyle. Swimmers, clear the pool, please. Heat 2. Four-time Paralympic team member for Canada, Club de Natation Region de Quebec, Aurélie Rivard, lane 4 is the standing S10 Canadian record holder in the women's 50 freestyle, 27.37, seated in 27.92 as well. Second fastest seed time in the heat, lane 5, University of Manitoba Bison's Maxime Levitt in lane 5 with the 27.96 seed time. 27.988 is the national record held by Valérie Gramaison at 28.60. Not enough for the record there. 28.87 for Rivard, third fastest in the heat, and Ariane Hunsucker with the second fastest time in the pool at 28.63 in lane 3. 950, the top performance for Rivard. 961 though. Now resorted, Ariane Hunsucker 961, followed by Daniel Doris at 951 as our top two for the women's final in the multi-class freestyle, heading into finals tonight pre-scratch. Moving on next to event 316, men's multi-class 50 freestyle, heat 1 of 2. Swimming in lane 2 of heat 1 of the men's 50 freestyle is Pacific Sea Wolves in S5 classified Sebastian Masabi holds the standing national record for the men's 50 free in the S5 sport class at 38.12, seated though at 38.03 under the record. This is a time from here in Victoria, February 6th. Fastest time in the pool is a 31.58 for Charles Jimichel, representing Golden Horseshoe Aquatic Club in lane 4. 36.22 for Sebastian Masabi is way under Canadian record of 38.12. That is, folks, a new Canadian pending record in the S5 sport class for Sebastian Masabi.
36.22 pour Sébastien Masabi qui fracasse son record canadien à la classification S5. Sébastien Masabi.
Put your hands together, folks. That is a pending S5 Canadian record for Sebastian Masabi of the Pacific Sea Wolves. Heat 2 up next. Top time base seed in Heat 2 is Nicolas Terpie, the Club de Natation Region de Quebec in the S13 sport classification. A three-time Paralympic team member for Canada, holds the national record in the S13 sport class at 23.88. Terpie finishes 24.85, followed second fastest Jagdev Gill from McGill at 25.66. Third fastest finish Fernando Liu, another Paralympian for Canada Paris Games with a 29.579. Heat 2 reordered 9.48. The top performance for Turbide. Now sorted for Heats 1 and 2. 48 followed 9.29 for Reed Maxwell.
Ceci met un terme à nos préliminaires de ce matin. Félicitations à tous les nageurs. On rappelle encore une fois un record canadien lors du 50 mètres libre paranatation pour Sébastien Masabi, Pacific Sea Wolves, dans la classification S5. Merci à tous les spectateurs et aux officiels pour leur dévouement dans cette session préliminaire. On se redonne rendez-vous pour un début d'échauffement à 16h, début de compétition à 17h30 ce soir pour les finales ici au Centre Commonwealth Saanich à Vancouver, à Victoria.
Coaches, athletes, and spectators, with the end of the multi-class men's 50 freestyle, that ends our main body of prelims here for day 4 of the 2025 Bell Canadian Swimming Trials. Thank you very much, one and all, for coming out to Saanich Commonwealth Place here in Victoria, BC for our day 4 schedule. We next move into our time trial events. These are the 200 fly, 100 free, 50 breast, and the time. Final 1500 freestyle. We encourage all of our spectators, applications again to Pacific Sea. Our leading 2 events in the time trial are the women's and men's 200-meter butterfly events 419, 420 respectively. 3 swims in the women's 2 fly, 2 in the men's 2 fly. We'll be getting underway with heat 1 in just a few moments' time. Athletes behind the blocks, just a few more moments of your patience.
La prochaine session sera une session pour les essais de temps. Nous avons quelques épreuves cet après-midi, ce matin en fait. Le 200 pavillons, le 100 libre, le 50 brasses. Nous allons terminer avec des essais de temps pour une série du 1500 libre. On avise tous les entraîneurs que vous avez jusqu'à 11h50 ce matin pour déclarer vos forfaits pour les finales de ce soir. 11h50, l'heure limite pour les forfaits de ce soir.
Coaches, please take note that our scratch deadline for finals tonight is 11:50. Once again, scratch deadline for finals is 11:50. And again, we are now moving into event 419, the women's 200-meter butterfly, heat 1 of 3. We'd like to call a coaching representative from Halifax Trojan Aquatic Club down to meet administration as soon as possible in regards to a potential swim-off. Once again, coaching representative from Halifax Trojan Aquatics to the meet administration desk as soon as possible in relation to a potential swim-off. Attention to all coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification to announce at this time. Event 316, heat 2, lane 6. That is again a disqualification in event 316, heat 2, lane 6.
Nous avons un avis de disqualification pour l'épreuve 316, série 2, couloir 6. L'épreuve 316, série 2, couloir 6 a été disqualifiée.
Leading time of the 100 in heat 1 of the women's 100-200 fly is a 1:08.85. Erin Epp in 6 for Pacific Coast Swimming, followed second Maya Molyneux for Vancouver Pacific, 1:10.37. Fastest time in Heat 1 of the women's 200 fly is a 2:26.60 for Pacific Coast Swimming Erin Epp. Second for Molyneux in 5. Heat 2 coming up next for the women's 200 fly time trial. Heat 2.
Dans cette deuxième série, Madeleine Fassina de China Swim Club, le temps le plus rapide, 2:25.93. Madeleine Fassina from China Swim Club. The top seed in the second heat, 2:25.93. On rappelle que si votre nom, votre prénom est Sébastien, si votre prénom est Sébastien, il y a forte chance qu'on a votre téléphone à la table de l'annonceur. Alors, si votre nom est Sébastien et que vous cherchez votre iPhone, venez à la table de l'annonceur. Il y a de fortes chances que nous l'avons retrouvé. Jaden Dogson, race leader through the first 100, 1:08.60. 2/10 ahead of Charlotte Lacroix. Les deux nageuses, seulement 2 dixièmes les séparent après 100 mètres, soit Jaden Dogson de Pointe-Claire et Charlotte Lacroix, acclimatation région de Québec. Maintenant, Charlotte Lacroix qui est en avance dans le dernier 25. Jaden Dogson toujours en deuxième. Last 5 meters pour Charlotte Lacroix de la région de Québec et qui le remporte 2:25.45. 2:25.45 for Charlotte Lacroix, winning Heat 2. Série 3, Heat 3. In this third heat, the top seed is Lydia James Brennan, the Pink Canada Barracudas, 2:22.97. And Chive Martin Quadricup, your race lead through the first 50, 30.92. She's in lane 3. C'est Amy Chai qui mène après le premier 50 mètres. La nageuse de Markham, un temps de passage de 30,92. Une seconde d'avance pour Amy Chai devant Lydia James Brennan. The second lead after 100 for Amy Chai over Lydia James Brennan. Lydia James Brennan now has taken the lead and wins the third and final heat, this 200 butterfly, 2:20.59. 2:20.59 pour Lydia James Brennan qui remporte la troisième et dernière série du 200 papillons.
Coming up next is our first of two swims in event 420, the men's 200-meter butterfly time trial. Heat 1.
When we looked at the stop back of your car, didn't care where we are. We were going too fast, said it won't be the last. Told you that was the best. Our bodies dancing to the moonlight. We kick our shoes off and it's on. I told you that was the best.
Tied up for 10th place in the A final for the men's 100 freestyle is Ethan Eck and Lon Kim into the wall at the end of a time trials swim-offs in the men's 100 free. 49.68 for Kim in lane 5 as the fastest of the two. 50.11 for Ethan Eck in lane 4.
That was the best. Our bodies dancing to the moonlight. We kick our shoes off and it's
Swimmers, clear the pool, please.
we light it up until we get hot. Yeah, we look like a mess. I told you that was the best.
Coming up next is the men's 200 fly time trial. Again, event 420, heat 1 of 2.
I told you that was the best.
100-meter turn, heat 1 of the men's 200 fly, 101.77. Julius Barkovich for Kisu, followed second to Griffin Sagan, Barry Trojan at 103.83. Fastest time in the men's 200 fly, first heat at the time trials, a 2:12.44 for Julius Barkovich of Kisu Swim Club. Second place, 2:16.56 for Griffin Sagan and for Barry Trojan.
Julius Barkovich, qui suit Swim Club, il remporte la première série avec un temps de 2:12.44.
Heat 2 coming up next, Heat 2. (2:09.88). William Morin in lane 4 for Club École de Montréal is top time in Heat 2 of the men's 200 fly. Second place finish in lane 3 is Joel Pedro. Rocheto, 2:09.90. Coaches, athletes, and spectators, please take note that next up we will not be swimming right into the women's 100 free. We have a swim off in the women's 50 breaststroke.
Prochaine série est une nage de bris d'égalité pour le 50 brasses féminin entre Julie Nolan McCarthy et Rachel Steinberg.
We'd like to ask Heat 1 of the women's 100 freestyle to step down off the blocks. Heat 1 to step down off the women's 50 breaststroke.
About the maiden voyage of poets A to Z. None confused to answer that happiness is free on Hakey suburbia.
Our swim-off here in the women's 50 breaststroke, lane 4, Halifax Trojan, Julie Nolan McCarthy and Rachel Steinberg for Brantford Aquatic in lane 5. Fastest time is going to be a tie for first, 40, 33, 49. Julie Nolan McCarthy and Rachel Steinberg do it again. Holy smokes.
33-49, la nage de égalité qui se termine dans une autre égalité pour Julie Nolan McCarthy et Rachel Steinberg. Alors il va falloir en avoir une autre nage pour déterminer la gagnante.
Well, looks like they're going to be doing that one again, possibly. But we're going to move on in the meantime to event 421, the women's 100-meter freestyle time trials. This will be heat 1 of 11 behind the blocks. If we could please have a coaching representative from our two tied athletes for the women's 50 breaststroke swim-off, please make their way down to meet administration as soon as possible. As a coaching representative from Halifax Trojan and Brantford Aquatic down to the meet administration desk as soon as possible, please. Once again, the women's 100 freestyle heat 1 of the time trial swims, heat 1 of 11. In addition to our coaching representatives from the Halifax Trojan Aquatic Club and Brantford Aquatics, we'd also like to call coaching representatives from Brock Badgers and Markham Aquatic Club to please make their way down to the awards to the meet administration desk as soon as possible in relation to another potential swim-off. Once again, Brock Badger and Markham Aquatic, coaching representatives to the meet administration desk as soon as possible, please, in relation to potential swim-offs. Justine Lapierre in first place in Heat 5, Heat 1 of the women's 100 free, lane 5 at 1:02.26.
Justine Lapierre qui remporte la première série, 1:2.26.
Second place finish for Cassidy Haydock, Campbell River Killer Whales, Heat 2 coming up next, Heat 2. Top time of the 50-meter turn in Heat 2 of the women's 100 freestyle. A 29.66 in lane 1 for Louvain Rivière-du-Loup, Julien Beaulieu. Seat time for Beaulieu is a 1:03.24. Into the final 5, however, Maïsa Montacab for Olympian swimming cinches first at 1:01.74.
Ici à Montacab, le pion swimming qui remporte la deuxième série avec un temps de 1:74.
Heat 3 up next. Heat 3. Fastest time in Heat 3 going to be lane 5. Ryan at 59:49.
Analyse Ryan de North York qui remporte la troisième série avec un temps de 59.
Women's 1 free, Heat 4.
You got this look like it's yours. I want it all. You got this look like it's yours. I want it all to be ours. Come on, I have to let it go. And if you're too slow.
Coaches and athletes, we have a disqualification. Event 421, Heat 1, lane 7. That is a disqualification. Event 421, Heat 1, 7. Fastest time in heat number 4 is lane 2. Annabelle Massicot, script de natation Negofias, 1:24.
Annabelle Massicotte qui remporte la quatrième série du club natation Mégafias avec un temps de 1:24 centièmes.
Give it up for another drink, so we
Heat 5.
lost in the music, lost in the days of the beat.
Nous avons un avis de disqualification. Avis de disqualification pour l'épreuve 421. La série 1, couloir 7. L'épreuve 421. La série 1, couloir 7 a été disqualifiée.
Up in front in 5 into the end of the race, Leanne Du, region of Waterloo at 59:78 in 5.
59,78 pour Liandou. de Waterloo, qui remporte la 5e série.
Heat 5, Heat 6 up next.
Just for one night, just for one night.
Fifty-meter turn leading time in lane 7, Olympian swimming Kayla Tai. Seed times minute point 32, turns first 28.64, followed second by Melissa Edelman in for Hayek Swim Club, Simon Fraser University. Gonna be Edelman for first, set a 58.93 new high point for the time trial swims of the 100 free.
Melissa Adelman de Hayek Swim Club qui remporte la 6e série avec un temps de 58,93.
Heat 7. Fifty-meter turn, leading time, Cobra Swim Club, Abby Clark at 28.64. Second turn at the 50, Nina McEachran for Kisu, 28.73. Tight race to the finish, but McEachran in 4.59.41 for first.
59,41 pour Nina McEachran de Kisu Swim Club qui remporte la 7e série.
Heat 8. Fifty-meter turn in Heat 8, leading time, Haley Oki in lane 5, representing Muskoka Aquatic at 28.25 halfway turn, followed second, Meili Michaud, Poinca, lane 8. Oki seated second fastest in the heat at 59.56. Up in front into the final 5 by a half point length on the competition and finishes for first 58.34 new high point by 0.6.
58-34 pour Haley O'Kay qui remporte la 8e série.
Heat 9. 50-meter turn leading time in Heat 9. Abby Baller for the Red Deer Catalina Swim Club turns 28.62 into the second half of Heat 9. Fastest in the pool for Heat 9. Baller for the Catalina, Red Deer Catalinas at 58.49.
58-49 pour Abby Baller de Red Deer Catalina qui remporte la 9e série.
Heat 10 of 11 coming up next, penultimate swim. Tight for the finish here in Heat 10. Center lane's going to be 5 though. Sarah Mason at 59.05, just ahead of Caitlin Malak at 59.17.
59.05 pour Sarah Mason d'Upper Canada qui remporte la 10e série.
Heat 11 of 11, final swim. Overall fastest seed for the women's 100 freestyle. Neptune Natation Anne Cotemanche in 4:57.26. 57.37 is Edmonton Canada Swim Club Tegan Vanderleek in lane 5 is the second fastest seed in the heat. Off to 50 in first, Cotemanche at 27.11, 27.51. 4/10 to the 100th behind is Vanderleek in 5. Neptune Anna Cotemanche, it's 57.40, fastest time in the time trial swims.
57-40 pour Anne Courtemanche de Neptune qui remporte la 11e et dernière série du 100 libre. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
We next move into event 422. The men's time trial swims in the 100 freestyle. This is heat 1 of 12 coming up next. Heat 1. Fastest time, heat 1 of the men's 100 free. Lane 6, Evan Velasquez for Hayek Swim Club, 53.87.
53-87 pour Evan Velasquez de Hayek qui remporte la première série.
Heat 2, up next, Heat 2. Fastest time in Heat 2, the men's 100 freestyle is Evan Cleary in lane 4 for Club de Natation d'Ormeau, 55.57.
55-57 pour Evan Cleary. Le dollar des Homos remporte la deuxième série.
Heat 3. Fastest time in lane 4, Zachary Mecto, Club de Natation de Riverain de Lévis at 55.07.
55-07 pour Zachary Mecto du Club de natation des Riverains. Il remporte la troisième série.
Heat 4.
À la conclusion de cette épreuve, 422, il y aura deux nages de bris d'égalité, soit le 50 brasses féminin, nage de bris d'égalité pour le 50 brasses masculin.
Heat 4, the men's 100 freestyle. Top time going to be in lane 4 for Kinnan Sen, Calgary Swimming, 53.89.
53-89 pour Kinnan Sen de Calgary qui remporte la quatrième série.
Heat 5. Leading time of the halfway turn, Aiden Gjorfi in lane 1, representing Olympian Swim Club. Gjorfi turns 25.91, followed second. Lane 4, Frédéric Saint-Pierre, Club de Natation Megofias. Saint-Pierre seed time is a 54.83. First place, though, will be Gjorfi at a 54.45.
Aiden Gjorfi de l'Olympian Swim Club qui remporte la 5e série quand on a 54-45.
Heat 6. We'd like to note to coaches, athletes, and spectators, after the end of event 422, our current event, the men's 100 freestyle, we have 2 swim-offs before the beginning of the women's 50 breaststroke. These are swim-offs in the women's 50 breaststroke and the men's 50 breaststroke. So once again, 2 swim-offs after the end of our current event, the men's 100 freestyle, before the beginning of the women's 50 breast. Top time Heat 6, looking like lane 2, a tie for first at 54.52. Aiden Lee, Maddie Pasternak, Crescent Etobicoke.
54-52 pour Aiden Lee et Maddie Pasternak, les deux nageurs qui terminent avec un temps identique pour remporter la série 6.
Heat 7.
Everybody plays the fool. There's no point in wondering why people do what they do. It's alright.
Top seed, Heat 7 is Matteo Savini, Olympian swimming, leading time at the halfway turn. Luca Amaral for Newmarket Stingrays follows second. Justin Norty, Club de Natation Région de Québec. Under the final 5, fastest time going to be, looks like lane 4, it's lane 5. Norty at 20:50, 4:28.
54-28 pour Justin Lortie, Club de Natation Région de Québec, remporte la 7e série.
Heat 8.
When you pass your door open, girl, feel so bad. It's so hard if you don't call, but it's supposed to.
Swimming in lane 4, LA Swim Club, Jake Odorsky. Top seed in the heats at 53.92. 53.92 as well is Point Claire Swim Club, Samuel Plant in lane 5. Leading times Odorsky at 25.75, follows second. Maxim Pokorski at 25.80. Then a tie for third between Henry Slatter and Plant. Into the wall, fastest time is at 53.70 for Plant in lane 5.
Samuel Plante qui remporte cette 8e série avec un temps de 53-70.
Heat 9. Natation de Riverain, Emile Bergeron at a 53.43 top seed time in Heat 9. Riley Carswell for Windsor Aquatic, 53.51 in 5. Halfway turn, lead time is Bergeron at 25.24. Bergeron and Carswell up in front. It's going to be Carswell, it looks like, at a 52.82 in 5.
Riley Carswell qui remporte la 9e série, 52-82.
Moving on now to Heat 10 of 12, men's 1 free. (24-42), lead out 50 for lane 4. Matthew Broff of Regina Optimist Dolphins, top seed in Heat 10 at 52.97. Enrico Jordan at a 25 in lane 5, representing Grand Prairie Piranhas. Second at the 50. Good finish in 6 for Eli Pelletier, 54.284 is second, 52.12 for Broff for first.
Matthew Brough from Regina Optimist Dolphin Swim Team qui remporte la 10e série avec un temps de 52-12.
Heat 11. Top seed in Heat 11 is Zach Mills, camper for Killer Whales. Fastest off the 50 is a 25.15 for Matthew McDonald, lane 3 for Pacific Coast Swimming. Top time, though, in the pools, a 51.98 in 3 for McDonald's.
51-98 pour Matthew McDonald de Pacific Coast Swimming qui remporte la 11e série.
12th and final swim now for the men's time trial 100 free. 12th and final swim for the men's 100 free. Club Aquatique Saint-Eustache, Loïc Trepanier, lane 4 at 51.30 as a seed time. Fastest in the time trial swims. Calgary Swimming's Ian Cameron, seated at 51.66, the second fastest seed in the heat. Leading time of the 50, Ethan Fast, living up to his namesake at 24.36 in 4.3. And for second, Kieran Stone in 8 at 24.86. 0.5 to the 100th behind Fast. Fastest time is Ethan Fast at a 51.51 in 3.
51-51 pour Ethan Fast de Calgary qui remporte la 12e et dernière série du 100 libre.
We move next into our first of two swim-offs in the 50 breaststroke. The first designated as event 823, the women's 50 breaststroke. The second, event 724, the men's 50 breaststroke. Following our two swim-offs, we will be moving into event 423, the women's 50 breaststroke time trial swims. Behind the blocks right now, we've got our two for the women's 50 breast time trial, swim-off. Tied not once, but twice through this morning's session. Women's 50 breast swim-off.
I used to think one day we'd tell the story of us, how we met and the sparks flew instantly. And people
After tying earlier in our main body of prelims, Halifax Trojan Aquatic Julie Nolan McCarthy and Brantford Aquatic Rachel Steinberg have tied again at 33.49. Past the 25-meter mark, slight advantage looks to be in lane 5 for Steinberg in blue. 5 meters to go, and it's anyone's race. The time is going to be 33:35 for Julie Nolan McCarthy. 9/100ths ahead of Steinberg at 33:44.
C'est Julie Nolan McCarthy qui le remporte 33-35, 9 centièmes devant Rachel Steinberg pour briser l'égalité.
Both under the time swum in the first swim-off of 33:49. We move next into our second swim-off for the men's 50 breaststroke now, heat 1.
I'm starting to think one day I'll tell the story of
Days turn to years time, and some of us just let go.
Swimming lane 4, Rock Badgers, Cameron Corshane Carter, and lane 5, UBC Thunderbirds, Saskatoon Goldfinns, Ethan Hemian, tied at 10th at 29.04 earlier this morning. Looks like it's going to be lane number 5, a 29.16 for Hemian in 5 for first.
Ethan Hemian qui remporte la nage hybride d'égalité avec un temps de 29-16 devant Cameron Corshane-Carter.
We next move into event 423, the time trials for the women's 50 breaststroke. This is heat 1 of 2 behind the blocks. Top seed Heat 1, Jasmine Lawal, Edmonton Piano, 35.46. Into the finish, fastest time is going to be low lane 2, Calgary Swimming's Callie Cardiff, 34.48.
Callie Cardiff qui remporte la première série, 34-48. Swimmers, please clear the pool. On demande aux nageuses de sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît.
Heat 2. Top seed Heat 2, our final swim for the women's 50 breasts is Richmond Hill Aquatic Club. Emily Lee in lane 4 at 34.38, 34.50 for Cascade Swim Club's Maya Kalmakoff in 5. Into the finish, looks like it may be lane 6 here. It's not, it is 3, Molly Steves at a 35.05, representing Northumberland Aquatic in 3.
35-05 pour Molly Steve de Northumberland Aquatic Club qui remporte la deuxième série.
Next up is event 424, the men's 50 breaststroke time trials Heat 1. First seed of the men's 50 breaststroke top time in lane 7 for Isidore Warren, 30.07, representing Natation Gatineau.
30-07 pour Isidore Warren de Natation Gatineau qui remporte la première série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau, s'il vous plaît, Swimmers. Please clear the pool.
Heat 2. Top seed Heat 2, Cameron Kennedy, North York Aquatic at 30.80, 30.99 is Dennis Timchuk for Rich Meadow Swim Club. Top time is going to be Kennedy at the 50-meter conclusion, 30.68 in 4.
30-68 pour Cameron Kennedy, North York, qui remporte la deuxième série. Veuillez sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Heat 3. the fastest seed in the men's 50 breaststroke is lane 4, West Vancouver Otters' Adam Yosha, along with Western University Swimming Kyle Stuckless in lane 5. Shared seed is the 29:45. Fastest time, Yosha at 29:38 in 4.
Adam Joshua de West Vancouver Otters qui remporte 29:38. Ceci met un terme aux 50 brasses. On demande aux nageurs de sortir de l'eau. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
With our 50-meter events out of the way, we now move into our 1500. The first and only swim in event 425, the men's 1500 free time trial, time final. Our 3 in the pool for the time trial 1500 free. Lane 3, Canadian Dolphin Swim Club Jimmy Zhu. Lane 4, Kisu Swim Club's Charlie Bourne. And lane 5, Nepean Canada Barracuda's Mehmet Deniz Kapraz.
bottle of red wine ready to pour. Dressed in long black satin and lace to the floor. So went in, them sat down, started kissing, caressing. Told me about jacuzzi, sounded interesting. So we jumped right in. All calls diverted to answer phone. Please leave a message after the tone. I mean, me and our parents were kinda cool, but they ran a fine line between me and you. You are just doing things young people in love do. Parents trying to find out what we were up to. Saying, why were you thinking about me last night when I see two shadows moving in your head? I've been dressed in black, I've been dressed in. Can you feel me? Yeah. Calls diverted to answer phone. Then I know how to have my contents. Then I return, feel me? Yeah. Whenever the coast was clear, she'd ask me to come out. I'd say, hey, girl, come on right around. So she opened the door. I was standing with the keys on my hands with a 4x4. Jumped in my ride, jumped in that nobody saw. Then we got down, bounced a little dim. Saw it was early morning, thought we better be leaving. So I gave you my jacket for you to hold. Told you to wear it.
1/3 of the way through, leading times of 5:22.80, 5:29.70 for Charlie Bourne behind Denise Capraz. 750 turn, 80850 for Mehmet Denise Capraz. 841.46 now, just passed on the latter half of the race. Capraz now just past 1,000, so on 1050 at 11:26:48. .300 meters to go for Mehmet Deniz Capraz, a 13:05:58 on the clock. Seat time for Capraz is a 16:43:46. Born in June now into the final 300 meters, 13:20:24 and 20:84, 6/10 apart. Bell's on now for the final 100-meter turn for Mehmet Deniz Kapraz in the men's time final 1500 time trial, 15:18.78 at 1400. Three tenths apart, Charlie Bourne at 15:35.03 and Jimmy Zhu at 15:35.31. Lanes at 4 and 3 respectively. Final 50 now for Kapraz. And the top time in the time final 15 time trial is a 16:24.64. Kapraz for Nepean Canada Barracudas in lane 5. Second place, Jimmy Zhu at 16:36.64, 16:38.34 for Charlie Bourne in lane 4 for Kizu. Coaches, athletes, and spectators, that wraps up in totality our 4th day of racing and through our prelims here at the 2025 Bell Canadian Swimming Trials. Thank you one and all for coming out to Saanich Commonwealth Place for our racing this morning and early afternoon. At this time, we'd like to invite our seated officials to make their way off deck. Thank you for your efforts through our session today. To all of you remaining in the building, enjoy your afternoon until we resume for finals tonight. For warm-ups at 4, day 4 finals at 5:30. Enjoy your afternoon. We'll catch you back in a couple hours.
Swimming Canada would like to thank our partners. Natation Canada tient à remercier ses partenaires. The Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. Speedo, your trusted swim partner from your first splash through every stroke. Speedo, votre partenaire de natation de confiance, de votre premier saut dans l'eau à chaque traction. Bell for better and all the ways it gives back to communities and sport across Canada. Mieux pour tous et toutes les façons dont Bell redonne aux communautés et au sport dans tout le Canada. Chicken Farmers of Canada, proud supporter and official protein of Swimming Canada. Les producteurs de poulets du Canada, fiers partisans et protéines officielles de Natation Canada.